Welcome back, everybody. My name is Yehoshua. Welcome back to another day, another Mishnah of Masechet Horayot. It's really just 3 Mishnayot to go. It's very exciting. Be'ezrat Hashem. Siyum we're going to be celebrating on Wednesday morning, 8:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. On Zoom. You'll be able to all join us with the link down in the description down below. Now, this Mishnah is going to talk about what happens when two very special sacrifices are on the line in Beit HaMikdash. Which one comes first? So the first one is Par Ha'edah, the bull of the congregation, the one we've been discussing all along when the High Court gives the wrong instruction to the people for an eluded matter of halacha. Followed by that, the people rely on that, and there's an unwitting action. People sin relying on Beis Din. That's one korban, the bull of the congregation. And on the other hand, we've got a similar korban for the Kohen Gadol, again, that he would bring. It's called Par HaMashiach, the bull of the anointed Kohen, the Kohen Gadol. He will bring it when, again, with him, he allowed himself the forbidden, an eluded matter of halacha for him, and relied on his own instruction, on his own permission, and followed by that, an unwitting action from him, sinned by mistake, and he will have to bring Par HaMashiach, bull of the Kohen Mashiach. Now, what happens when these two korbanot have to be sacrificed? Which one takes precedence? And along the way, the Mishnah will teach us two major principles in precedence in korbanot. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, "Kol hatadir mechavero." Everyone who is more frequent than the other, kodem et chavero, then the frequent one will always take precedence. If there's one korban that is more frequent, he will always take precedence over a korban that is less frequent. That is learned, by the way, from the following pasuk. The pasuk you read for the korbanot of actually Pesach. In Sefer Bamidbar, it says, "Milevad olat haboiker asher leolat hatamid tasu et eile ka'eile." Right? It's just the best fun to shout ka'eile with everybody else. Although we should be listening to the Chazan. But put that aside, the Gemara in Masechet Horayot is asking. It says, other than the olat haboker, than the special ola, sacrifice ola of the morning, asher leolat tamid. So all the additional korbanot of the Chag will be brought other than the ola of the morning. And it says asher leolat tamid. And the Gemara says these words are superfluous. What is the Torah trying to tell us? Because it's telling us that the first ola of the morning takes precedence because it's olat tamid, because it's tamid, meaning being brought every day. In other words, it's so frequent, it's the most frequent korban ever. That's why it's brought first. And just for example, to make things clear, if Rosh Hashanah falls on Shabbat, then first of all you bring the olat tamid because it's every day, and then you bring the musaf of Shabbos because it's every week, and then the musaf of Rosh Chodesh because it's every month, and the musaf of Rosh Hashanah because it's once a year. That's the precedence based on frequency of the korbanot. So that's principle number one. Yes, moving on to the second principle, and that is kol ha mekudash v'chol ha mekudash mechavero kodem et chavero. Anyone who is holier than the other will take precedence over the other. We'll learn that from what the Torah says about Kohen, the kidashto. You should honor him. You should sanctify the Kohen, meaning honor the Kohen in anything and give him precedence in anything. That's why we give him the zimun. The benching, he will do the zimun if there's a Kohen. That's why he will have the first aliyah when we're laning, and many other things, because he's holier. That's why he takes precedence. And similarly with korbanot, if one sacrifice is holier, it will take precedence over other korbanot who are less holy. And with that, we're moving to the main case of the Mishnah, and that's Par HaMashiach Ufar Ha'edah Umdim, the bull of the anointed Kohen versus the bull of the congregation. Remember, these both are brought for an eluded matter of halacha, followed by an unwitting action, relying on that permission, wrong permission. And which one will take precedence? And the Mishnah says, Par HaMashiach kodem le Par Ha'edah b'chol ma'asav. The bull of the anointed Kohen takes precedence to the bull of the congregation, b'chol ma'asav, in all of its action. There's a lot of actions when we do the korban, the shechita, and the throwing the blood, and etc. So it will, Par HaMashiach, the bull of the anointed Kohen, will take precedence. The Gemara explains why. Because the Kohen Gadol makes atonement for other people. So he gives atonement. he actively gives the atonement, while the bull of the congregation are receiving the atonement. And here, the logic says that first of all, you have to atone for the one who gives atonement to others, and then once he is atoned for, then he could also make atonement or help others make atonement on behalf of other people as well. Just like in Kohen Gadol in Yom Kippur, the pasuk says v'chiper ba'ado v'ad beito uv'ad kol kahal Yisrael. First of all, he brings v'chiper ba'ado, he atones for himself, and then uv'ad beito, for himself and his family, and then u'be'ad kol kahal Yisrael. Once he is atoned for, then he can bring the korban to atone for the entire congregation of Am Yisrael. And from that we learn that since he takes precedence, that he's also this korban, the bull of the anointed Kohen, he's also holier than the bull of the congregation. That's it for today. B'ezrat Hashem, stay tuned. We will be celebrating Imir Hashem, the Siyum Masechet, on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. You can follow us, B'ezrat Hashem. See you there. Litrot. Bye-bye.